The thing is this. If there's a new program where you have to wear a cam, homie, if you don't have nothing to hide, what's the big issue about it? You know, your job as a CEO is to go in and babysit inmates. What is do, my you boys coming through once again with the new video. And first of all, let me apologize for my voice, but we have to work. I do apologize, man. So I want to bring up this uh, topic about assault on correctional officers. The reason why I want to bring it up is because I seen that the mob spot, right? Talking about it. It was Hector Bravo and Boxer. They were talking about the hunger strikes, which later on I'm gonna be dropping different content on that when it has to do with canteen, packages, what things they change in the shoe, and what things they change out on the yard. Because of the demands that were asked for CDCR, which they did a lot of them, right? Now, now, what I want to talk about is what they were speaking on. They're speaking about assaults on correctional officers, and they're blaming this on gangs, uh, mentally unstable individuals, inmates, right? And then Hector Brown wants to bring up the administration, which I disagree, homie. Uh, I know that Hector Bravo has an agenda to go against administration, but when you have individuals on the floor, meaning on the yards, on the buildings, it's gonna be inmate and CO to blame. Let's just be honest with it. You know, Boxer brought up a point in where Hector Bravo had made a statement, a strong statement. That's according to Boxer, right? Which I do believe, saying that he blames 1% on the gangs. Like everything was going on in CDCR, he just blames. Basically, the gangs have the 1% to be blamed for, and I do not agree with that, homie. If we're gonna speak about something, homie, let's be realistic. You know what I mean? Let's speak the truth. Let's not try to fucking throw a fake narrative out there, for the gente to believe in, right? So let's just be honest, homie. Look, administration, they're just gonna control the rules, what they want to be done, right? I do understand that there's officers, there's Hector Bravo who are mad that now some COs have to wear a fucking body cam, you know? That there's gonna be a lot of cameras on the yard, on the buildings. I do understand why, you know? And the reason why is because they cannot do what they were doing before. And for those who've been in prison, you know what I'm talking about. Look, I'm not taking the blame from the inmates. I think that a lot of these issues that happen in CDCR is the inmates doing it. Why? Because they still think in a criminal way. They still have that mentality. They still um, go by those rules from the gang, from the criminal life. And to be honest with you guys, we all been through this. Um, they just put it this way. They came out with the numbers, right? So it seems like every month there's been around 200 I mean resisting arrest incidents in CDCR per month. Imagine. That's a lot. But if we're gonna be realistic, just let's just put it like this: most of those reports on me, they're fake. They're fake by CO. And that's just keeping it 100 with you guys. I'm not saying all of them, but there's a lot of them who are gonna be fake. Let me just give you an example. I have seen inmates going to the podium and ask a cop for, let's say, a a move, right? Because he has issues with Cisali. So the inmate goes to the podium, and what the officer says, "Get out of here, man. Get out of here." So the inmate doesn't get out of there. He's like, "Man, I need a cell move," you know. And then because he didn't listen to that, they grab that guy, slam him on the ground, cuff him up. Now what? Now you have to put that. I mean, now you have to justify the force, right? Meaning resisting arrest, meaning assault on a peace officer. So events like this happen. Um, and I seen many of this, man, a lot of them, you know, in the shoe, on the yard. There's a lot of this stuff. And that's why they implemented those cameras, because administration knows and recognizes, says that there's been a lot of 602s, a lot of appeals of inmates complaining about this behavior from a CEO. You know, I'm not saying all CEOs are like this, but there's a handful that makes it all bad for everybody else. You know, and when somebody comes on a platform and trying to blame the administration, when in reality the issue is the inmate and the CEO, it's like, come on, man, let's just be realistic with this shit. See, I believe that gangs have to do a lot with this. It's just a mentality that, just put it like this way. If a homie, right, a Southsider, gets stopped by a cop, I've been in those situations where the homie gets stopped by the cop. He start getting pat down. Now, guess what? Now we have to wait. We have to wait for the homie to see if they're gonna let him go or not. Because if they start acting up, it's time to step up. Um, and because of that, we have seen videos in where a homie gets stopped, and then all of a sudden something happened. He gets slammed to the ground, and guess what's gonna happen? Every homie's gonna have to jump in. So now, what happens? There's gonna be multiple assaults on different cops, and everything because of the same mentality. You know, and why all this started? Because you have two individuals that can process things the correct way, and they don't know, how to solve a issue that is not that serious. And because of their prides, because of their ego, they take it to the next level. And because of this, a lot of people end up getting affected. Yes, there's going to be a lot of individuals who are mentally unstable, who are going to be acting a fool. And also there's going to be people who are going to be under the influence. There's people who are, whatever it is, whatever substance they decide to take, alcohol or controlled substances, and you know what I mean. But one thing I will tell you is that, like Hector Bravo said, resisting arrest can escalate to a different level, to assault, to a battery, to a point of unaliving somebody, and this is our very serious issues that we have to speak on, because this has to do with the way we think as an inmate and as a cop. Yes, now I know that they introduced the cameras, right? And one big reason is because what they were doing before, Hector Bravo wants it to go back to what it was before, where there's no cameras and where you can't show what actually happens, and people can pencil whip that 115. This shouldn't be about taking it how it used to be, man, because in reality, I mean, until the time they start bringing cameras, man, let's just be honest. Whenever you assaulted a officer, you had the blues on me. And the thing is this, if there's a new program where you have to wear a cam, homie, if you don't have nothing to hide, what's the big issue about it? Your job as a CEO is to go in and babysit inmates, keep it respectful, and you should get respect. Now, if this is the case, the only issue that you're gonna get from inmates is those who are mentally unstable, and once you can have those guys figure it out, you can go about your business and maybe avoid an assault, a battery throughout your career. At the end of the day, like I want to say, man, it's not administration's fault. It's gonna be the inmate and the CEO. One of those guys is gonna create that situation. It could be the CEO or it could be the inmate, and that's taking responsibility. Let's not blame our issues out there on the yard on administration, when administration doesn't have nothing to do with that. I do agree that administration has changed a lot of stuff, and that have put a lot of inmates in jeopardy. And I'm saying inmates because the whole mixing of the GP and SNY to create this undesignated yards, that's very dangerous. And that's one thing I'm gonna agree with, that is creating a difficult situation for the inmate, not for the CEO. And they're just keeping it real. So with this being it, we are out to next video. Don't forget to hit the like, a comment, and if you haven't subscribed to the canal, subscribe to this canal, man. Muchas gracias. Al rato.